First of all, students need to just accept the fact कि अब हमारे पास इतने options नहीं है या हमारे पास वो Big Four के options नहीं है जो पहले हुआ करते थे. And that's okay. अगर कोई Big Four नहीं, किसी industry में Articleship मिलती है and you're doing really good there, people will see it and that will lead to more and more opportunities. You should try for Big Four or any other audit firms, but if you don't get it, don't tell yourself that this is the end. It's not the end.
When you moved to UAE, सबसे बड़ा reality check आपको क्या मिला था?
So I moved to Saudi first. वहाँ पे reality check मुझे ये मिला कि yes, your earnings are tenfolds, but your expenses are quite a lot as well. जितना काम UAE में, especially GCC countries में होता है, the working hours, that's even worse than in Pakistan. If they pay you more, they make you work harder.
Alright, so the work-life balance is not really something that they believe in.
They do believe in that, but the problem is that like within that 10 to 12 hours, because you are competing with global talent, in that same 10 to 12 hours, they are much more efficient than we are.
Alright,
They would log in at like 9 a.m. and they would log off at 6 p.m. लेकिन ये हमारे सबकॉन्टिनेंट का थोड़ा सा कल्चर है. स्पेशली मैंने देखा है पाकिस्तानी इंडियंस वो शाम में जाके चाय पीएंगे, सुबह आएंगे तो आराम से. That all is time leakage. Japan or Chinese or Hong Kong, then Europeans as well. They know how to manage their time pretty well.
What does your day look like? A normal, typical day for you?
I wake up to a lot of emails.
Okay.
Because I'm part of the head office global portfolio. So I'm currently working at a project in Argentina, let's say. And I'm also working at a project in Thailand.
Okay.
So the time zones, एक 4 घंटे आगे है और एक 9 घंटे पीछे है. So I wake up to emails from Thailand and मैं रात को 10 बजे 11 बजे भी calls लेता हूँ अक्सर with the Argentinians.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Beyond Balance Sheet. This is your host, Alishba Adnan, and today we are joined by a chartered accountant, a true inspiration, a senior manager at corporate finance and business development at DP World, Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just welcome Mr. Mansab Jawed. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much for inviting me. My pleasure.
All right. First of all, thank you so much for taking out time with us and for this arrangement. Of course, you're here from Dubai, meeting family, but then also meeting your TSA family as well. So thank you so much.
Anytime.
All right. So Mansab, let's just delve into the conversation. Let's just start with you as a junior student, or you could say you as someone who was not a chartered accountant, right? So how did you get to know about chartered accountancy? आपको कैसे पता चला? And was it something in the family that inspired you, or something that just came to you naturally?
On the contrary, I was one of those kids who was not sure what I want to do. So मैं ऐसा नहीं था कि मुझे फैमिली में बोल दिया कि तुम CA करोगे, and I just decided that this is make or break, this is my career. I was not quite sure till I finished high school. So I went by elimination method. So I'll tell you, like I always like to keep my options open. मैंने फेडरल बोर्ड से मैट्रिक किया था and सिंध बोर्ड से मैंने इंटर किया था. So federal board, when I was doing the matric, I chose biology because that kept my options open. If I want to do medical, engineering or accounting, it kept my options open. When I did biology, I realized that मुझे medical में नहीं जाना, so that was eliminated.
All right.
Came to the inter, I chose pre-engineering because that kept my options open for accountancy, pre-engineering, and wherever I want to go except for medical. I did pre-engineering. I then applied for universities, like I applied in NUST, I applied in LUMS, and I got into those universities, but there were financial constraints, which is why then I just went ahead with CA, because I'm sure a lot of like 60 to 70% of the students that come to CA is because it gives you a lot of exposure and good education at much cheaper or economic much cheaper. So I think that's the reason. That's how I ended up with CA.
All right. You completed your articles from a Big Four firm that is PwC, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of students, they want to get into it. If I talk about the young CAF qualified students, they want to get into Big Four firms, and due to the current situations, if I talk about KPMG's recent exit, and then Deloitte has already exited Pakistan. And then we have EY with limited inductions in the external audit department of CA students. So what exactly do you think that a big four firm at during these situations ये कितनी ज़्यादा important है हमारी एक CAF qualified students के लिए?
देखिए, first of all, we need to come to terms with the reality. It is unfortunate, but this is the reality. तो I think first of all, students need to just accept the fact कि अब हमारे पास इतने options नहीं है या हमारे पास वो big four के options नहीं हैं जो पहले हुआ करते थे. And that's okay. You're still going to do good with your life. I used to teach also, and whenever students would come to me with these questions, I would tell them that you just have to give yourself some credit. You have to have faith in yourself. And अगर कोई big four नहीं, किसी industry में भी articleship मिलती है, and you're doing really good there, people will see it, and that will lead to more and more opportunities. So it is fine. You should try for Big Four or any other audit firms because it gives you a lot of exposure within a very short time frame. You get deployed on a lot of clients. वहाँ exposure बहुत कम time में ज़्यादा मिलता है. But if you don't get it, then don't tell yourself that this is the end. It's not the end. मैंने बहुत सारे अपने बैचमेट्स देखे हैं, कैंडिडेट्स देखे हैं जो मिड टीयर टू स्मॉल टीयर फर्म्स से भी आगे ग्लोबली आज बहुत अच्छी पोजीशंस पे बैठे हैं. So that would be my advice.
Alright, so because students, like I said earlier as well, that they stress upon it a lot कि अच्छा अगर big four से नहीं हुआ, so like you said, it's the end of the world. But I believe दुनिया बहुत it gives you a lot of chances. So in order for you to take on those chances, it's important that you don't set your mind on big four only.
Exactly. Right. You should keep your options open. You should look out for opportunities and adapt. It's okay. And especially in this era, आपको globally भी पता नहीं कि क्या होगा कल. So you just have to keep adapting. Whatever life throws at you, make sure that you adapt and you look for the positives.
All right. So since you talked about things globally, you left Pakistan and you joined Dubai in DP World. You're working there. So what made you decide to leave Pakistan and start your career in Dubai?
So I was not set sure that I want to go abroad. Okay. I was not there. I was just looking for a specific kind of exposure. So when I completed my articles with Ferguson, it was 3.5 years into it. I was in banking, financial institutions audit. So सबसे पहले तो जब मैं Ferguson मैंने join की थी, I did not want to be in the banking sector. I wanted to be in the manufacturing sector, but I did not get that choice. I was assigned to the banking side, then audit. So those 3.5 years, जैसे मैंने बचपन में जैसे मैं हमेशा से एलिमिनेट करते हुए आया था, मुझे अंदाज़ा हो गया था कि मुझे बैंकिंग सेक्टर में ऑडिट नहीं करना. So 3.5, and I had also realized कि what I like is a more commercial finance role, जहाँ पे आपको नंबर्स की बेसिस पे डे टू डे डिसीजंस लेने हो. यहाँ पे जहाँ पे नंबर्स की बेसिस पे आपको कोई बाय और सेल का डिसीजन करना हो, फॉर एग्जांपल. सो I had understood that this is not what I want, and I think 3.5 years के बाद I was at the crossroads. I got an opportunity with KPMG Qatar, and I also could join transaction advisory, deals advisory within Ferguson. अब उसमें everyone knows कि pay scale में it's like a 10 times difference, right? And all my batchmates had left already. वो GCC चले गए थे या वो यूरोप चले गए थे. But I had this pep talk with myself and I told myself, again, जैसे मैं बता रहा हूँ कि you should give yourself some credit, have faith in yourself and take chances. At that, the earlier you are in your career, it's easier for you to transition into something of your liking. मैंने उस वक्त decide किया कि I rejected that offer from KPMG Qatar and I joined Deals Advisory for the next 2 years in Ferguson. So from 2019 till 2021, I stayed with Ferguson another 2 years in Deals Advisory because I wanted to transition into the corporate finance, business finance, M&A role.
All right.
So that led me to DP World Jeddah, and that exposure led me to DP World regional team, and the same then led me to DP World head office. So what I'm trying to say is that I had not decided that I'm going to go abroad. I was just chasing some particular experience or specific exposure that I want for myself, and that led me there.
All right, a very inspiring story, I must say, and something that we could learn from it as well. So, all right, when you moved to UAE, सबसे बड़ा reality check आपको क्या मिला था?
So I moved to Saudi first.
All right.
So I moved to Saudi first. वहाँ पे reality check मुझे ये मिला कि yes, your earnings are tenfolds, but your expenses are quite a lot as well.
All right.
And जितना काम UAE में especially GCC countries में होता है, the working hours, that's even worse than in Pakistan. So you have to, if they pay you more, they make you work harder.
All right. So the work-life balance is not really something that they believe in.
They do believe in that, but the problem is that, like, within that 10 to 12 hours, because you are competing with global talent there, in that same 10 to 12 hours, they are much more efficient than we are.
All right. Okay.
So you have to learn, when you are competing with the global talent, you also get to understand the ways to work, and you get more and more efficient with time. The work-life balance है, like they would log in at like 9 a.m. and they would log off at 6 p.m. लेकिन ये हमारे subcontinent का थोड़ा सा culture है, especially मैंने देखा है पाकिस्तानी Indians वो शाम में जाके चाय पियेंगे, सही है, सुबह आएंगे तो आराम से, like it will take some time for them to get in the zone to work. So that all is time leakage. जो दूसरे specifically I would say like Asians, APEC side के Japan or Chinese or Hong Kong, then Europeans as well, they know how to manage their time pretty well.
Right. So the loopholes that we have in Pakistan, I believe, वो उस वाली side पे, they're managing that, and that is
they manage their time very well.
Yeah.
Very well. They don't take a break. If they say 9 hours office hours, 9 to 10 hours office hours, then वो एक second काम करते हैं. They don't take breaks.
All right. So if you talk about your job in general, what does your day look like? A normal, typical day for you, how does it look like?
So I wake up to a lot of emails.
Okay.
Because I'm part of the head office global portfolio. So I'm currently working at a project in Argentina, let's say, and I'm also working at a project in Thailand.
Okay.
So the time zones, एक 4 घंटे आगे है और एक 9 घंटे पीछे है. So I wake up to emails from Thailand, and मैं रात को 10 बजे 11 बजे भी calls लेता हूँ अक्सर with the Argentinians.
Okay.
So that's how my day look like, because global portfolio है, तो आपके पास हर time zone का ये projects होते हैं, and you have to manage your time with all of that. So, and it's mostly exploring one of the expansion opportunities के business expand करना है, या ये company है इसको acquire करना है, या यहाँ पे this asset is a cash, this asset is not fitting into the strategy but can attract good value, तो उसको sell कर देते हैं.
All right.
So that's my day.
So a lot of costing going on, I believe, and a lot of financial
costing.
decisions.
A lot of financial decisions, valuations, negotiations with the counterparties. I think that's the charm of it. जब negotiate आप करते हैं, when you're sitting across on the table across the counterparty, and you have to negotiate the value down, or you have to convince them that my asset is much more than what you are valuing it at. So that gives you a lot of exposure.
All right. So if you talk about one specific financial decision that you still remember that you had to take, और आपको अभी तक याद है, तो if you could share it with us.
I think I've already shared that with you, and it's not, मैं अपने career perspective से अपने professional decision से बात नहीं कर रहा, but मेरे लिए जो personally biggest decision था, that was the KPMG Qatar offer.
All right.
I was at the crossroads, 10 folds salary, और मैंने decide किया कि Mansab, give yourself some chance. अभी नहीं किया तो बाद में भी आ जाएगी. Don't worry about it. So just give it some time. And I'll also tell you कि मैंने जब वो decision लिया था, उसके बाद जब 2 साल मैंने deals advisory में spend किए थे, every day I would think कि मैंने क्यों deny की, मैंने क्यों वो offer reject की. But 2 साल बाद, now looking back at that time, I think I made the best decision of my life. वो 2 साल मेरे लिए sacrifice थे, because I was not earning as much as my batchmates. I was also, exploited, or exposed is the right word. I was also exposed to the Pakistani culture of doing things, which is not very healthy sometimes, right? So I would regret that decision, but now looking back at it, वो जो मेरा decision था, that led me to where I am, and I alhamdulillah, I would say कि मैं, if not above par, I'm at par with all my batchmates now.
Right. So that decision actually proved out to be really good for you.
Really good, and at least I'm doing something that I chose for myself. I wanted to do something, and I'm doing that. It's not like कि मैंने बस continue किया audit and I just tell myself every day अपने आप को कोसते रहो daily basis पे यार ये क्या कर रहे हो या क्या कर रहे हो. So yeah.
So you were at ease. Your mind was at ease. So
Yes.
that is what actually matters. बाकी
Exactly.
सब तो चलता रहता है.
Exactly.
People telling you what to do and what
So
not to.
in your early stages of your career, take risks, take chances, and pick a path for yourself.
Alright.
डिसाइड उसी वक्त करना होगा, क्योंकि अगर आपने 10 साल गुजार लिए किसी एक चीज़ में, फिर आपके लिए बहुत मुश्किल होगा टू ट्रांजिशन. यू विल लेटर रियलाइज इट कि अब नहीं हो सकता. जितना जल्दी आप करियर में डिसीजन लेंगे और जितना जल्दी आप, बिकॉज उस वक्त रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ भी कम होती हैं. यू प्रोफेशनली यू डोंट हैव अ लॉट ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ बिकॉज जूनियर्स से इतनी हाई एक्सपेक्टेशंस नहीं होती. एंड ऑल्सो फैमिली पर्सपेक्टिव से, क्योंकि फैमिली में आपकी शादी नहीं हुई होती, यू डोंट हैव किड्स, सो it's safer to take those risks at that time. So जैसे ही आपके articles ख़त्म होती है, you should start exploring options. If you want to transition then. I think that will do wonders. And once you have picked something that you like, then your progression feels natural.
Right.
आपको अपने promotions के लिए या आपको बहुत लड़ना नहीं पड़ता अपने प्रमोशंस के लिए, बिकॉज यू डूइंग रियली वेल एट योर जॉब. एंड अगर उस कंपनी में नहीं तो आपको कहीं और से अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी आ जाएगी. बट इट फील्स नेचुरल, इट फील्स स्मूथ. सो दैट्स माई बिगेस्ट एडवाइस हियर टू ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स के हैव फेथ इन योर सेल्फ, गिव योर सेल्फ सम टाइम, टेक सम रिस्क अर्लियर इन योर करियर. डोंट वेट फॉर लेटर.
All right, very well said. All right, so since we're on the topic about you saying that if you want to move abroad, you can. So now with the tensions around the world, if I talk about Dubai and UAE in general, so would you still recommend students or young chartered accountants going into the Middle Eastern countries with the current situations that everyone is aware of?
देखिए, as per my motto, जो मैंने आपको बताया, look for exposure. और वहाँ पे आपको UAE में आपको ग्लोबल टैलेंट मिलता है, सो यू गेट टू लर्न अ लॉट. पिक अ गुड फर्म, look at the team that you will be joining. It has to be a competent team because you learn a lot amongst competent people. So if despite the regional tensions, if you get a good opportunity with competent team in Dubai or elsewhere because you'll be with global talent, go for it, 100%.
All right, so if I talk about it, I'll just throw a direct question at you. If we were to compare the starting salary of a chartered accountant, a qualified chartered accountant in Pakistan and in Dubai,
Yeah.
if you could not tell the exact figure, what's the difference?
It's been 6 years or 7 years since I'm not in Pakistan. I've left
Okay.
Pakistan. तो मुझे honestly पता नहीं है कि यहाँ पे अब क्या चल रहा है.
Okay.
But at my time, it used to be 7 to 8 times.
Okay.
At my time.
All right.
I'm not sure what's the latest now here, because I think in the last 3 to 4 years, because of the inflation and currency devaluation, pay scales काफ़ी revise हुए. So I don't have the latest figures, but at my time it used to be 7 times, I would say.
All right. So usually people believe that Dubai means instant luxury or instant success. How true is that?
It's not luxury. It's a comfortable lifestyle. Because यहाँ पे आपको जो struggles होते हैं, load shedding, a big part of your day goes into fighting things in nitty-gritties, like in गैस नहीं है, बिजली नहीं है, पानी गर्म नहीं है, right? All these things. तो आपका उसमें दिन काफ़ी waste होता है, वो वहाँ पे नहीं है. So you have a comfortable lifestyle, but I will not say luxury, because, and I think it's also a psychological thing. जब आप दुबई जाएंगे तो दुबई में आपके सब साथ में billionaires घूम रहे होंगे, और like everywhere it's just bling, flashy, everyone just आपको Lamborghini and Porsche. तो वहाँ पे जाके आपको लगेगा कि okay, I'm again at much lower level than others. तो ये it's never enough. आप दुबई जाएंगे, वहाँ पे आप कंपेयर करेंगे, वहाँ पे तो कंपैरिजन इज़ अ थीफ ऑफ जॉय. आप वहाँ कंपेयर करेंगे, आपको लगेगा वहाँ पे भी अब आई नीड मोर. सो इट यू कीप वांटिंग मोर एंड मोर एंड मोर. इट डजंट एवर स्टॉप. बट हाँ, लाइफ इज़ कंफर्टेबल. योर बेसिक्स एंड नेसेसिटीज़ आर टेकन केयर ऑफ. यहाँ पे वो सारे स्ट्रगल्स हैं.
All right. So if I talk about something beyond audit and accounting, how true is that students today, if I talk about chartered accountants and ACCAs as well, they want something to do with auditing and tax. So if we want to explore something beyond that, is it something that is advisable from a professional like you?
100%.
All right.
Like, I mean, I'm an example, right? I went for a more commercial finance role. I went into, like, people generally call it, my field, they call it investment banking, private equity. That's how it is termed as. So I went into that field. So CAs are not only restricted to auditing or reporting or accounts. There's a lot more that they can explore. Again, you just have to be willing to sacrifice in the first few years after your qualification.
Right. And since you talked about the changing times, of course, AI is the hot topic when I talk about changing times. So do you believe that something that you must have heard, is AI taking over chartered accountants?
AI is not going to take over the chartered accountants, but AI is going to take over a lot of monotonous tasks. A lot of tasks जहाँ पे there's less judgment involved. Chartered accountants are developed to take business decisions. Like eventually in your career, you have to take business decisions. You have to make commercial calls, judgments. AI will take a lot of monotonous day-to-day tasks. Just I think auditing will be impacted a lot because auditing there are set procedures that you have to run. You can simply just extract the entire trial balance from the system and run those specific procedures using AI. So AI is going to take over that. But AI is not going to take over the judgment of a chartered accountant that is required to take financial decisions on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I think we are far away from that in this era.
All right. So you mean that AI could, aid us into doing an audit which is much more efficient.
Yes.
But it cannot really, do what a chartered accountant does when it comes to taking decisions.
Yes, and because a lot of our time goes into doing what AI can do now, the monotonous thing and the running those specific procedures that I'm telling you about. तो जहाँ पे 2 लोग चाहिए थे वहाँ पे शायद एक बंदा चाहिए. But you will still need that one person who's going to take those financial decisions or the judgmental calls.
And since we're on the topic about decision making and such, prior to the podcast you told me that you got a merit certificate in costing as well. So how did that happen?
Well, frankly, I think I always liked word problems and math questions because I used to participate in a lot of math Olympiads, so I was passionate about it. And I just had a competitive nature, so I used to just compete in the class. I had, in fact, Bilal Tabani, so we were batchmates.
Okay.
So Bilal ke saath I used to compete a lot. He was really good in costing as well. And we used to just, whenever a teacher throws a question at us, हम compete करते थे कि पहले कौन solve करेगा.
अच्छा.
So I think it was just, I was not aiming for a merit, but it just happened because I was competitive and I was passionate about numbers. So I think that's how it happened.
So you were never a bookworm, something that you never believed in. You were never a bookworm, rather you actually were passionate about costing.
Yes.
And that is how you got a merit certificate.
Yes.
Right. So it's I think it's a message for all those students out there who are just aiming to get a 50% marks in any subject. But if you're naturally good at it, or you grab the concepts and then go into the entire thing, I think that is also something that could aid you into getting
and
good marks.
I think it starts. I'm telling you that I was in school and I started doing word problems, and I always believed in the fact that you need to grasp the concept rather than just memorizing what the thing is. Like if I metric में या आप लोग जो है वो equations को solve करते होंगे, right? कि left hand side is equals to right hand side and all those sort of things, right? उसमें people used to just memorize the steps. I believed in कि मुझे जब तक समझ नहीं आ रहा कि हो क्यों रहा है, ऐसा क्या चल रहा है पीछे, what's exactly happening in the background, I would not be comfortable. I was not satisfied.
Right.
तो मुझे like if you should be able to understand things and explain things very simply in a very simple manner if you've actually grasped the concept.
True.
तो कॉन्सेप्ट समझना वॉज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी. तो इट वॉज अ प्रैक्टिस फॉर मी कि मैं कभी भी कोई प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करता था, आई वुड नेवर मेमोराइज द स्टेप्स. मुझे कॉन्सेप्ट समझ आना चाहिए, फिर मुझे मेमोराइज करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती थी. सो आई थिंक दैट जस्ट लेड मी to all, you know, the costing and then solving those problems and being competitive about it and just securing the merit.
Something that is really healthy as well.
It is healthy, yes. You don't feel the pressure.
Right. And you know, if I talk about you and you know the young professionals that are coming to you, of course आप देखते होंगे, आपके पास ऑफिस में भी आ रहे होंगे, and you know you must have met them in general as well. What is the one thing you think that a chartered accountant actually lacks? और बाकी सारे प्रोफेशनल्स में वो चीज़ होती है जिसकी वजह से यू नो अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट थोड़ा सा पीछे रह जाता है एज़ कम्पेयर टू द अदर प्रोफेशनल्स, अपार्ट फ्रॉम द स्टडीज़ एंड यू नो द कॉन्सेप्ट्स एंड यू नो द नॉलेज.
I think everyone's aware of that, and it's just the way you present yourself. I think chartered accountants, usually the new qualified chartered accountants, they lack the confidence to communicate. Even when they know stuff, they are not confident in voicing it out. On the other hand, bachelors from IBA or alums, they know how to communicate. Their concepts would not be as in depth as chartered accountants, but they know how to communicate what they understand.
All right.
Chartered accountants do not do that very well. I think that's one thing that is lacking. I can tell you that we know much more, but we just don't know how to communicate.
True.
किस तरह से कि दूसरे को कन्विंस करें. First of all, you need to be confident about yourself, and I think that's what's lacking. Candidates or students are usually not super confident about themselves. And again, it goes back to having faith in yourself, being a little. I think this is my pep talk for myself. मैं भी अपने आप को यही कहता रहता हूँ. I introspect a lot, so I keep telling myself these things that you know. You are good enough. You can.
Self-reassuring words, you mean, right?
Yes.
They're really important.
It's
not
really
just for the chartered accountants themselves, but I believe it applies across the board.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. CA में specifically इसलिए because काफ़ी बच्चे humble background से आते हैं.
True.
और उनको ये self assurance नहीं मिलती, या उनको they see more lackings in themselves than so they see more shortcomings than the
IBA qualified or you.
No, what I'm saying is that they see more shortcomings in themselves than their strengths.
Right. Yes.
So that's the issue, I think.
Early career start करने के बारे में maybe you could talk about that, or you know explore fields like SAP or Power BI. ये वाली चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा आजकल in है when it comes to professionals.
I think one thing for professional progression, I would say, is that you have to explore different options. Everything's very accessible. You have to try to upskill yourself as much as you can with AI, with Power BI, with other platforms, and also create a brand, create a personal brand. LinkedIn pe you need to have presence. Try to read a lot of articles from professionals. Try to voice out your opinion on LinkedIn. I think putting some posts on LinkedIn and then getting professional feedback from other people would also help you build connections. आपकी social branding बहुत important है. I think that also lands you a lot of opportunities. So I think that is one thing that people can work on.
All right, very well said. Such good words, I must say. How was your experience overall? If I talk about coming back to TSA after such a long time, and then you know,
nostalgic. Brings back a lot of memories. And I was just, when I parked my car, I was looking up, you know, on that table tennis side,
right.
Because I used to spend like more time there than I used to spend in the classrooms. बहुत ज़्यादा. तो I still remember जब हमें क्लास से बाहर निकाला जाता था, जो कि निकाला गया है बहुत दफ़ा. I used to be, आप पूछ सकती हैं. You can ask Sir Majid or टैक्स के जो सर अजीम सिद्दीकी थे. I don't know if he's still teaching, but we used to be expelled out. और हम लोग फिर टेबल टेनिस का रैकेट पीछे छुपा के निकलते थे and used to play.
One could not tell, seriously. I said this before as well, I'll say it right now as well. One can seriously not tell. No, I
That's the
think
reality.
chartered accountancy does this to a person, is it?
Chartered accountancy, sorry, didn't get your question.
I mean, I said that maybe chartered accountancy does that to a person that, you know, once they were too naughty, they used to get expelled out of the class and now they're...
Not really.
Not really?
Not really.
Alright.
Nahin, I mean, it's up to you. You can still keep your inner child alive.
Alright.
It's not just chartered accountancy. It's also, I mean, people have a lot of generally family commitments. You grow, you get married, बच्चे होते हैं. So I think that's also that might bring you down, but you can always keep your inner child alive. So I think it's a personal thing. I don't think CA has to do anything with it.
Alright, very well said. Thank you so very much for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you for
it was such an informative session as well, something that you know, maybe it is not only informative for the audience, it is informative for me as well when it comes to, you know, learning a lot of new techniques and a lot of new things about not just in Pakistan but also in the Middle Eastern countries. That was amazing getting to know about this from a professional like yourself. So,
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me, and I wish you all the best with your career and with your induction and articleship. So I wish all of you all the best. Good things are coming.
thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching. Catch you in the next episode.